Hey, what up, guys? This is darkrai 800, and this is my very first video that I'm gonna make for right now. And if it gets pretty good, I may consider doing another one, and for by the end of this week or later on. I actually don't know, but this is what I'm gonna go. Oh, this is what if Deku was Darkrai. So the story starts off. Uh, when Darkrai dies while trying to protect Ash and his friends. Arceus would see this and fear for the worst, stopping a fight between two of most greatest deities. I can't remember their name. Name's Palkia, and I can't remember the other one, but it's the Pokemon of space, not space, time. Him and but anyway, he's Arceus couldn't revive Darkrai, so he said to him, "Hello, my son. I am Arceus, as you know. I can't bring you back, but I can send you to get another chance." And and he would, and Darkrai would nod his head in agreement, and because, as well, he's pretty much heartless to everything, and not even to his own Jesus. And so he would end up being put into the world of My Hero Academia, where he would be reincarnated in Izuku Midoriya. But there will be some differences to him. He will have blue eyes, he's white hair, and that will be pretty much it when he's born. So, well, they would think he might have some sort of be quirkless. Yes, not sure why I said that. But he would. But life would be pretty good on. And pretty much everything would be same as canon. But for some reason, he was pretty cold in school. But towards his mother, Inko, he would be pretty open to. Talk to her, and actually help her with stuff like cooking, cleaning the house, all that. And he doesn't admire All Might as much. He still likes the guy, but he just doesn't care that much for other people. As you know, Darkrai is pretty heartless, excluding to that one girl he saved when she fell off a cliff. But when it was age 3, Baka would start developing his quirk. Yes, I know. Making Katsuki he get his quirk sooner than 4. Just roll with it. This is my what if. And he would get his ego pretty early. But when go after Deku, waiting for him to see his quirk. And when Izuku was 4, he would had be diagnosed to be quirkless. He would be kind of sad and depressed by this, and when he told Baku about this, he pretty much got started bullying. But when he was 5 years old, he started having glimpses of his past memories, or, in his words, some sort of weird visions. And these do happen at time to time when he's awake, and he would get some sort of quick headache, but it would instantly go away. Until when he was 7 years old, he would encounter Arceus. Yes, I'm making Arceus come to him. And Izuku would actually freak out for once. So would Inko, because it's in their house. And Izuku, who for some reason feels like he knows him, but he doesn't know where. So he would ask, who are you? Arceus would say that he is Arceus, god of Pokemon. And he would tell Zuko, "You are a reincarnation of one of my mythical friends who have died while trying to protect a young boy and his friends along with his Pokemon and partners." He would be kind of dumbstruck, and so would Inko, thinking that he was lying, until he showed them what happened. And pretty much everything would go pretty much like I said it would, only Izuku would understand why he was so heartless. So would he? Inko. He was the reincarnation of a creature who was pretty much heartless and whose heart was pretty much black. In fact, if it wasn't for Inko being so caring, he would probably just go to the dark side. And she wouldn't say, "Hey, I'm sorry, Izuku," while crying, and when he was pointing at All Might. He was sad, but he just got over it, not caring, saying that he feels like he had some powers, but not knowing what they were. Yes, I'm kind of making this one a bit rocky and slippery, but I'm new to this, okay? So give me a break. But anyways, when Arceus has brought things back to normal, Izuku, who would be in a total awe for once, saying that he knew he had a strong power, but after being diagnosed quirkless, didn't know about it. Like, he has manipulated shadows before, and he didn't know why, even though he was diagnosed quirkless. He would eventually start to become more intrigued and try to copy the dark type moves he could use, and eventually used Darkrai's signature move. I believe it's called Dark Void. I can't remember. But when a man was attacking Inko, he used Dark Void on him and made him fall asleep, giving him a nightmare. But since he was his first one after being used in such a long time, it wouldn't cause the man to have a heart attack. And he started training both his body and his powers to control all shadows, manifest them, even block out the frickin' sun at one point. But that was just due to him being in adrenaline, and after being ganged up by 3 teenagers. There's one England, and one girl who was about to rape him. Yes, I'm making this kind of dark, but Darkrai is dark and gloomy, so who cares? And so he blocked out the sun at one point. People thought it would just cause a cloudy day, but those who were outside was questioning it. And so was the heroes, including All Might, thinking, "This must be all for one." But eventually it just stopped, and it hasn't happened in a while. The heroes did try looking for the source, but they did end up finding them. The girl had slash marks that were black, like a shadow. Oh, and two of the guys, he was knocked out with its shadows containing them. And the third guy, he was pretty much having a nightmare. Yes, Itsuku has made his Dark Void attack to be more dangerous. But when he tried to control his power more and more. learning karate, taekwondo, oh, and that's pretty much it for what I can think of for at the moment. So years would go by, Bakugo would still be and pretty much a bully. I was about to say a naughty word, but I'm trying to be a bit more obedient since this is my first. I don't want to be seen as a guy who just swears. Comment down below if you want me to be a bit more lightened up. But when it started to, when they were 14 and it was their last year of middle school, the teacher would come in and saying, "Alright, class, we are gonna sign some papers to find out which high school you want to go to and to think of your future careers." Everyone would just sigh and complain, but the teacher would then throw the papers up in the air and say, "Well, who cares? Because I know you all want to be heroes." Everyone would start cheering and use their quirks, and Izuku would just not care. And Bakugo would still do his whole thing like he did in canon, and the teacher would say, "Oh, we have two people attending UA. Bakugo Katsuki and Izuku Midoriya." Everyone would start laughing at Izuku. Bakugo would slam his on Izuku's desk while causing an explosion and yelling, "Why would you attend a hero school, you quirkless nerd?" And Izuku doesn't do what he does in canon and mutter, and he doesn't do analysis on people's quirks. Like, he actually is pretty darn smart. He's practically an all-A student. And Izuku would stand up, grab Bakugo's hand, and get him to the ground, putting his arm behind his back. And he couldn't use the explosions. Since I'm gonna make Izuku have an ability which can manipulate a person's shadow to where they can't use their quirk. I know it doesn't make sense, but just go with it. I may improve it on a later video or something. But everyone would be in shock by this, thinking he was just a weakling without a quirk. And Bakugo would be like, "What the heck? Oh, Izuku, how could you even do that? You worthless weakling nerd." And Izuku would say, "Look who's talking while her face is on the ground." And Bakugo would say, "You think you're better than me?" And Izuku would just calmly say, "No, I honestly just don't care. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. There's always something underneath." And the bell would ring, and everyone would go home. Bakugo would, and a few of his lackeys would catch Izuku off guard and stopping him in the hall. And they would try to attack Izuku. And some people were half of the school was watching this. And Izuku dodged the crony, but manipulated a shadow to catch Bakugo. Yes. And everyone was surprised and shocked that he did that. And Bakugo yelling, You're quirkless, you useless nerd!" And Izuku would say, "Just shut up for once," and would pull Bakugo to the ground with the shadow. Oh, and with the cronies who tried to attack him, he would use a dark void attack and put them into a sleep. Not giving them a nightmare, though. Well, somewhat of a nightmare, but just an embarrassing nightmare, like going to school in your underwear kind of nightmare. Like, has any of you, like, some people have had that and are extremely embarrassed. But, and everyone was really shocked, and they couldn't even move. Once Bakugo got free of the shadow using an explosion and to create some light, he would charge at Izuku. He would actually, for what? And I'm giving him a new ability for him. He could transform into darkrai. But he hasn't fully mastered it. He can make some of his parts look like darkrai, like the hair, the red jaw looking thing, the hands, and the things coming off of him. But he still looks humanous. And everyone would be in fear. But Bakugo being such an idiot and, well, just being Bakugo, would charge and attack at him, and would cause an explosion. But he wouldn't even be scratched by this. And he would use a shadow claw and slash at Bakugo's leg, which was pretty weak. He can control the amount of power he uses as when using an attack. Like, he can create his Dark Void attack to be just a dream into where they knock out, or a nightmare that causes the victim to have a heart attack, hack and die. And he gave off this dark aura when he slashed at Bakugo. Oh, to where Bakugo couldn't even move. He was so in fear and shock by this that he couldn't even talk, nor move, or even, he was pretty much like a Nomu at that point, not knowing what to do without an order. And Izuku would just walk off like nothing ever happened. And everyone would be in fear for this. Now, the sludge villain attack does happen, but Izuku could sense it from the shadows. Yes, I know, I'm adding ability over ability. Constantly. I'm still new to this. Yes. And what if you YouTubers are watching this, can you please help me out? But he would constantly dodge and create a shadow claw, which does cut at the sludge villain a bit, but it doesn't do much damage. And the sludge villain be, "You're the perfect meat shield. Stop resisting and give me your body. I didn't know the freak was in town." Izuku would just keep on dodging and eventually use a Dark Void attack, but didn't launch it as he sensed something else coming out of the sewer drain. And he just backed off, jumped back, and All Might would jump out and say, "Have no fear, for I am here." Detroit Smash! And Detroit smashes the sludge villain and putting on a 2-liter bottle. Izuku isn't much of a fanboy, but he still likes All Might. Like I said, he's not like the canon Izuku. He's different. All Might would say, "Good job for protecting yourself." But then he remembered what Izuku did with that Shadow Claw, and it left somewhat of a black cut on the sludge villain, even after he just reformed from it. He would be thinking, but eventually just push it out of the head. And he would try to jump off while saying, "Well, have a good day." Izuku does grab onto his leg, and pretty much things happen canon. But his question is, can I be a hero, even with such a villainous or most vigilant, dangerous quirk? Like, I admire you, but I never used my power unless in self-defense. But I still train with it, and I'm terrified of it. Which he kind of is scared about the amount of power he can, because he could pretty much kill a person. He has done it before, with a man who tried to rape his mother with a dark void attack. He basically just made his nightmare, knocked him out with a dark void, right? And basically, his nightmare was so terrified that he just died instantly. But they don't talk about it. Is All Might would poof into his Small Might form and says, I'm sorry, but if you say you have such a villainous quirk, you can't become a hero. Which, he would honestly be kind of sad. I mean, he finally remembers his whole past, but he wanted to become a hero just to go past that. Try to give up what he was, but still retaining the experience he had in the past. You know, like a mature adult. And the sludge villain does attack Bakugo. And even though there's so much fire, his determination to save someone blew out of the water. And he just zipped through with the fire. And actually, he made shadows which blankened not only the fire, but he was pretty much using Eternal Nightmare from Sun and Moon. The Z move Eternal Nightmare or Forever Nightmare, I can't remember. But he saves his Bakugo, and he does go to UA. Sorry about that, guys. I had to do something, but after 10 months of training, he does go to UA. And during those 10 months, he actually re-encountered All Might, who wanted to give him his quirk. But Izuku kindly declined. And All Might gives it to Mirio. But near the last week of the 10 months, he re-encounters Arceus, who wanted to check up on him. And he actually brought Palkia and Pokemon of Time, who killed him, and they apologized. But Darkrai said, it's okay. I actually have a chance to make people happy and not be feared for once. Which they were all happy for him. And after the 10 months, he goes to UA. He walks in and Bakugo trips him, because I'm making the tripping thing happen. And he floats and sees a brown brunette-haired girl who apologized for using her quirk on him. But he just said, it's okay. I was kind of a klutz. But she just said, no, I saw him trip you. That's very mean. He just said he doesn't care, and said that he'll see her later. And during the written exam, he actually did study. Like, he is pretty intelligent. And the whole thing with Ida does happen. Ida would complain, hinting that there are 3 robots on the screen, but 4 on the paper, and saying they would be very disappointed in the school if this was a common mistake. Izuku just manipulated a shadow to cover his mouth and tie him up and make him sit down, and told Ida to be quiet and let the man finish. He could have been getting to that point. And President Mike says, thank you, kid, for doing that. The 4th robot is just an obstacle, worth 0 points. So it's best to just avoid it. And everyone went to their designated And Ida confronted Izuku saying, "How dare you do that to me? You made me look like a fool." Izuku just said, "I didn't do it. You did. So how about you just shut up and stop bothering people?" And eventually, he hit the things. The door is open, and that's where I'm going to leave it off. Thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe, and help me with the channel to continue on, please.